Okay, we'll start that. Well, I'll say what we saw last week. Then we'll go ahead with that. Okay, basically what we did was yesterday we started with inner join. Inner join is nothing but basically you are connecting your two tables. When you are connecting a table, it will connect row to row. If there is a one side, there is a more than one rows there, then basically you get like you assume that the manager has cut. There are two job has cut, two employee has cut, two employees a manager. Then you'll get two record because it's connect every records. So you get a two records. If a manager there are five managers, then when you are connecting two tables, you get a five records. Okay, and if there is no employee with manager information, then you don't get the record. That is what the inner join is. Basically, it is not only you are connecting, you are also filtering by the connection. That you have to understand that. Basically, when you are, since you are putting a where clause, it is also not about filtering. It's okay. Now that create a problem. The problem is basically the practical problem is the filter is happening. So basically, you may miss certain something which you want to see. That's the reason they came out with the outer join. Okay, the outer join is whichever way you are putting outer join is a left outer join. Okay, okay, you left outer join putting right outer join accordingly it bring the table. Okay, basically a job the right outer join putting the job names left outer join putting basically is bring all the job names. When you are putting a left outer join, it'll bring everything from the just since the job is in the left side, it bring everything from the job. And whatever you are having the relation, that's the only thing you bring it from the right side. If you are making a right or out joint, you bring everything from the right side, you bring everything from the employee, to only bring the jobs which is connected to the employee. Okay. If you are making that full outer joint, that is a new to concept, you bring everything. Basically, you get that here in this example, you get a joint, as well as you get all the employee, all the jobs. That is why you bring it. Okay. That is what the join is. Now, okay. Today, what we see is we are going to see a subquery. Before that, I want to see something called Cartesian joint. Okay, this is not accepted joint, but still I want you to understand what is a Cartesian joint is. Now, what is happening? You are connecting two tables without any condition. For example, you are telling, I want the employee's job name, I want all the employee information. I'm just connecting two tables. But நீங்க வந்து எந்த வேர் கண்டிஷன் கொடுக்கல எந்த கண்டிஷன் எதுவுமே கொடுக்கல just you are having only table name, you are joining it. Now what you are expecting it? I told you that basically when you are connecting two table, இது ஒவ்வொரு ரோக்கும் ஒவ்வொரு ரூபா கனெக்ட் பண்ணும். ஓகே, இப்போ நம்ம வந்து எம்ப்ளாயி ஐடி ஜாப் ஐடி ஜாப் ஐடினா ஜாப் ஐடி கனெக்ட் பண்ணும். இப்போ நம்ம அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு கண்டிஷனே கொடுக்கலன்னா என்ன பண்ணலாம், ஒவ்வொரு டேபிள் ஒவ்வொரு ரோவும் ஒவ்வொரு ரோவோட கனெக்ட் பண்ணும். ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள், ஓகே இது கொஞ்சம் இந்த மேப் கொஞ்சம் மாறிட்டு, the manager is going to connect with all the 6 employees. The salesperson is going to connect with all the 6 employees. Accountant is going to connect with all. Basically, every row has got a connected to every employee row. Every job has. So basically, you are going to get manager for everybody, salesperson for everybody, accountant for everybody. So basically, what happened is it is like a multiplication of the row. If you have three row here, you end up with 9 rows. Okay, this is unaccepted join. Okay, the simple logic is if there is a two table, minimum there should be one condition, like one connection. There's a three tables, there should be minimum two connection has to join has to be there. Okay, so basically you have to connect every table to every table. Whichever route you are taking it, you have to connect with every table. If you are leaving a one table without any connection, then you are going to join all the row with the other tables. That what they call it a Cartesian joint, which is unacceptable. For example, like tell you that job and the job is great. Okay, I'll show you how many rows we have it first. Jobs. Okay, probably we have 10 row, 8 row, MB. Okay, we have something called here also probably have a 10 row. Now what we end up here is basically if you are looking at here, say that 100, probably you end up with 100 rows. 100 rows. You end up with 100 rows. Okay. I can do one thing just to give you a count. I can do one thing. Okay. 100. See that. Okay, here I'm proving two things here. One is a Cartesian joint, which is basically connecting every row to the. Another is basically I'm creating a one select count star from within a bracket. Here now this one select a table mari use பண்ணிடுறேன். இப்படி யூஸ் பண்ணலாம் நீங்க. Okay, select count from is a table. It works like a table. Like one select select statement can work like a table. Okay, so that is that like the beauty of SQL. Okay, so basically you are getting here the Cartesian joint, you are getting it. Okay, this is unacceptable because in the real time, like you have millions of records. When you just started joining with every record to every record, then basically that system is going to crash or the performance is going to come down. Okay, which is unacceptable. Okay, now we'll go to something called subquery. Okay, now what is happening here is, I go back to table, already equal to NB job ID. Okay, now the jobs job ID, jobs or job name, embroidery learn function எடுக்கிறேன். Now, if you look at that, basically the manager is coming more than one time. Now there is a requirement, there is a need where I want to get all the jobs information. Okay, புரிஞ்சுக்கிடுங்க. All the job information, I need to take all the job information which is connected to the employees. Okay, it is doing that. It is absolutely doing it. For example, if I take this one out, say that exactly it is what it is doing here, but it is doing more than what I want. Now, what is happening here? Manager is coming twice. Manager is coming thrice actually. Salesperson probably like it is coming more than once. Is coming because the manager is connecting more than once. But what I want is, I want to have all the jobs information which is connected to employee, but I don't want to duplicate time. Only once it has to appear. Okay. Now join cannot do that. Even if I do outdoor join, it is not going to work because outdoor join also basically is going. The outdoor join only helps when you are getting the information which is not exist. If it is already exist, it is going to come so many times. It connected to employees. Employee okay, so they came out with the concept called subquery. Now the subquery takes care of all these things. Basically, you are going to get the information from the table where you can put a condition with some kind of subquery, which is not going to appear in the SQL, appear in the select. Okay, I'll show how it works. When you get it, you get only that the rows, whatever the job IDs, you are getting it. That's all you get it here. Okay. 7 rows written because you have 7 jobs which is connected to employees. There are employees are there for 7 jobs. So 7 job number. This is, they call it subquery. Basically, what you are doing here is you are getting all the job information with the job information in. Like like select can work like a table. This job ID in, select the job ID from a barrel, job ID is not barrel. Okay, so this is called subquery. Okay, now it has got some issues, but I'll later explain what inner. Okay, basically this is a subquery, so it is getting all the job ID information from that. Now this is what it is doing here is Okay, this is getting that from the main table is connecting to that table. Okay, this we called it subquery. Okay, any question till now? Okay. Now there are few type of subquery. Something called correlated subquery, non-correlated subquery, in, not in, exist, not exist, any, all. Okay. The correlated subquery is a query. Basically, what it is telling here is there is some kind of the main tables are the prime select statement. ID is used in the subquery to validate. Okay, in this case, what it is doing is select job ID, job name, max salary, minimum salary from jobs A, and max salary is less than equal to that. Okay, now when you are coming to that select query here, the job ID is basically a job ID is coming from that main query. Okay, basically we are selecting the subquery for only for that ID, which is basically selected. Basically, like, what is happening here is when the query is taking the first row, then this is run for the first row. This is run for the first row. The second job is basically the query is basically picking up one by one row. Okay, so when it's looking first row, the subquery is run for first row, and it is validated that one. Okay, the subquery, that is how subquery also works. Okay, for every main query, the subqueries will be executed. Every main query, subquery will be, every main row subquery will be executed. That is how it works. Now, what we are doing here is we are giving a validating whichever the main row is coming out. So the thing is, this will be more performant because we are not picking up all the rows for a subquery. We are picking up the only row which is connected to that the main row. Okay, so this is, they call it correlated. Okay, in the non-correlated one, basically that's what I did that. So select from this one, select BID from employee where a department ID is not null. Or basically like a department or job where a department, okay, this is not using it. Now here, what is the problem? What is happening here is if I have 10 row, for all the 10 row, the subquery will be executed. Okay, performance has got a problem here. Because if I have like a million departments, okay, so okay, say 1,000 departments, the subquery will be executed for every row because 10,000 times the subquery will be executed. Okay, this is, they call it sorry. Okay, non-correlated subquery. This is what they call it. Sorry, this is what I supposed to here. This is what okay. The same thing here. This is what the non-correlated subquery. Okay, there is something called inquiry. Okay, now what is happening here is the inquiry, what it does is the inquiry, okay, whichever way, whatever you are selecting the subquery, it goes and check for every row. If there's 1,000 rows coming, for some reason 1,000 rows coming in the subquery, it check in every row where the particular ID is there or not. Okay, so it is basically running a in condition. When even one of the rows is there, it is going to check for every row till it find all that, like, all that rows goes and check it. But not in, that is also going to check it. Not in for every row is going to check it. Okay, so just to avoid that problem, there is something called exist. The advantage of the exist is first time it see that it meet that condition, it comes out of it. So the first time I check it, if it is there, the first row it meets whatever the condition we are putting, the first row it meets, it comes out of it. Not exist has to go through everything. We has to find out even the last row is not exist. So basically, whenever you are making exist, you make sure you not in also you can do that. You should do that. Make sure, like, you always know, like, correlated query. Basically, that whatever that you are telling, that validation you are doing here is you are basically you are validating it with something from the parent, that the prime row, so that exit will be works performantly. Okay. Then there is something called any. Any is like exist, like, you meet any one of the conditions, basically, like, it is going to pass through that. All, basically, you have to meet all the conditions. Like if you say that ID is equal to 1, 2, 3, it is never going to be passed. because ID is either 1 or 2 or 3. Okay. Now I'll show it. We will go to the next. I'll show all these things how it works. Okay. I'll show you that how the correlated works. What it is doing here is it is taking the maximum salary from the job, which is of the employees. Salary from job, which is of employees, who has got more than the salary of this one. There's only 2 people asked because there is only zeros there for the job 7. That is the reason these 2 employees are coming. Now you understand that what is happening here is I'm picking up these kind of row only once. I'm not selecting according to the job ID. There's no relation. I'm getting only one information, which is basically going and finding the information from the subquery. Okay, this is called, because since that the A job ID is used from here, this is called correlated jobs. Now I can find something called no correlated, which is not very advisable, but sometimes it happens. Select staff from departments A where a department ID not in. Select department ID from employee. So what I'm trying to say here is, I want to find out all the departments, which is, there's no employees. So I'm putting not in. Okay. Now this is not going to work. It's going to say not found. The reason is, okay, null is not equal to null. You cannot compare null with anything. Okay, if you are comparing null with anything, this is going to say false. Okay, when you are comparing null with null or null with anything you are comparing, is going to say false. Now, what is happening here is there are some employees has got a department ID is a null. So when you are comparing the department ID with that null, it is going to say false. Since it's a false, it cannot select any records. So how do I do here is BD department ID is not null. So I'm only picking up the row from subquery where there's a department. Now this will work. So QA administration. These 2 department, let's have this one. Okay, again I'm repeating it. Now in the first one, what is happening here is we have employee without department. So whenever I'm going, it basically goes and validate with every employee rows which has got a department, which very employee rows. So when there's a null comes, when you are meeting the comparing a null, the department ID with null, it will false. When it falls, then whether you say in or not in, whichever you do that, then basically the thing is what happens, since it's returning false, it cannot validate. So once you say that like department ID is not null, then it is basically what it is doing here is validating with the department ID. So now what it is finding which is not in, so the row is coming out. Okay, this is okay. Now the things, the right way of working here is I can say department ID P department ID equal to A department ID. This is the right way of working it. Okay. Still I'm getting the same row because I'm finding all the row which has got equivalent to that. They're not in. Okay, so that is how you exactly do that. Okay, basically you always have some validation with the subquery with the main query, so the performance would be nice. Okay, now then we also checked in, not in, we did that. Okay, I can say that in condition I can put here in condition, that's the same query. Okay, in query, basically I'm getting that the 3 department is coming here. I shown the not in, then we'll go for a exist. Okay. The other one we talked about is exist. Okay. Now I'll have a 2 way of working exist for you. I'll show the 2 examples. Okay. Select star from jobs J. alias where exist. Select X from employees where job ID is equal to job ID. Now what I'm doing here is I'm finding all the jobs which has got employees. Okay, it is like a in, not in. But when you are putting a in condition, what happened? We take a column, then we select the same column in that subquery, then we say that this is matching. When I say exist, basically there is nothing called exist, is nothing to do with the column. We are validating the row, whether that particular row exists. So basically the particular row is matching with this one. So what is happening here is, as long as there is something coming here which validate with the primary SQL, then that goes through. Even if there's a one row come here, then this is true, because we are telling here, you get me some value. I can put a X, I can put a star, anything. Okay, I can put a star here. That's the same thing for me. But we do unnecessarily, I waste bringing all my information from the subquery. So I just put a hard-coded value. That is also going to do me the same thing. So basically, it is picking up that employees a row where job ID is matching with the primary SQL. Okay, the X is much faster. Okay, now it says it's the same thing. It says not exist. Everything is same. So basically, I'm picking up the jobs. Jobs from the employee. So basically, there's a job is created, but there's no employee assigned for the job. So that is what it's saying. The same thing. The only difference is it says not exist. Okay. Basically, we are talking about. Okay, there are many here. 7 rows are there: chairman, accountant, CET clerk, trainee, senior developer. Okay. Employees, job. Sorry, yeah. Well, job ID is not exist. The same thing. So okay, now we'll see that the count has to match. Am I right? The count is not matching, then there's a problem. Okay, when I do here, so basically there is a 3. So I'm expecting here is 7. So 7. So that is matching. Basically, there are 3 job has got employees, and 7 job doesn't have employees. Okay. Okay. The next is basically that's all the queries. Basically, there are a few more things a bit advanced level. So basically I'm trying to introduce you that the query, how it works. This is where you can you can go and find out from the Google. There's a lot of tutorials, a lot of information is there. So in the concept of projecting, then that would be easier. Okay, this is all basically how you select that. Okay, now that the next one, what we see here is for you is there's something called union joins. Okay, there's something called union, which basically now what has happened whenever you are joining a two table, you are getting the information hierarchically. Basically, you are creating a one row. But what union does is, ரெண்டு டேபிளை கொண்டு வந்து ரெண்டு டேபிளுடைய ரோவை வந்து basically ஒரு டேபிள் 5 ரோ இருக்கு, இன்னொரு டேபிள் 5 ரோ இருக்கு, you get 10 rows. So basically it's joining one after another. Okay. How do I put that? Okay, for example, I want to get all the information, all the job names and department names in a one select statement. How do I do that? So far, we can't do that because if we are trying to connect through that employees, we can get the information, but it comes in a one row. But here I want to have it like one after another. The union helps. You can select twice. Same thing. Okay. So for that, there are like, there are something called union all, intersect, etc. Now what union does is basically take the information from two table, but if there is any duplicate information is there, okay, if you are selecting 10 columns, then all the 10 columns exist in the other table, then it get only that unique information. You don't get the duplications. Okay. The other side, the union all what it does is gets the duplicate informations. Okay. Intersect what it is getting here is intersect take that basically whatever the information there in both the table, because whatever the duplication is there, that's the only thing intersection is going to get it for you. The except get it what is getting here is it takes the first table, whatever the things which is not exist in the second table, that's what you are getting it. It is minus, they also call it minus. Okay, except or minus is the same thing. Okay, I'll repeat again. Union, it join both the tables, but take the duplicate information only once. Okay, it won't, that basically take the full first table and take the second table. There is only the things which is not exist in the first table. That's what it's getting. Basically, you get all that distinct information in a union. Union all, it doesn't care. எல்லா மேல என்ன ரோ 10 ரோ இருந்தா மேல 10 ரோ கீழே 10 like அடுத்த டேபிள் 10 ரோ இருந்தா 10 ரோ. It gets all the information. Intersects gets only the information which is exist in both the tables. Basically, which whatever the duplicate information is there in the top, in the first table, the second table, it gets whichever is there in both the tables gets it. The except takes it, whichever the information, a unique information in the first table is get it. Okay, I'll show you how do we achieve that part. Okay, that's a very simple. Okay, I'm selecting a job ID, job name, now selecting name from job. The one of the condition is here is basically நீங்க முதல் queryல 5 column இருந்தா second queryல 5 column இருக்கணும். So you have to equal same number of columns. The second thing is every column type should match. I'll show you how it works. Now I'm taking this one. It is getting me the job name. Okay, basically it's giving that information from the top query, it takes it. Then it's also giving me all that. Okay, how many 15 rows to tell, right? Okay, see that HR manager. HR is a department, manager is the job. Sales is the department, salesperson is the job. It is getting it. Wherever you see a null, you can see that that's a department. Okay, that's one thing here. Or I can say here also, like for like you want to differentiate that department. I can see, sorry, job. Top one is a job. These kind of things you can do here. You can create like your own column information. There's nothing wrong with that. Sorry, TPT. You see that here. Oh, I can show you here. See that this is a department, this is a job. This is a department, job, department. This is going to get all the information here. Now assume I just change it to that. I'm getting the first one, I'm getting ID. Second thing, I'm getting a okay, this is that ID, this is a job name. Now it is coming here. The expression must have the same department type. Got it? So basically, there's a two mismatch happening. This is ID, this is a character, string. This is what happened here. Okay, now what we do here. So instead of doing that, like assume that I put this one here. I'm taking here. I'm trying to show that it's the same thing, but I'm just showing that it's all care about types. It doesn't care about name or anything. It doesn't care. Basically, like, see that department name is coming up. So basically, you have to have an equal number of columns. Assume that, like, This is also what I do here. Now I don't have the equal number of columns. Now what happened? Let's see. Where I have a 5 columns, here I have a 4 columns. See, query block has incorrect number of result columns. So you have to have something here. I can put it all here. If there's no information, I can say that no. So now you're going to get it. Okay, this is a union. Okay. Now I'll explain you how it is not getting me the, how you get me the unique rows. I'm now using the same information, job name, job ID, from the same table. Twice I'm using it. Okay, it has got a 10 rows. Now I'm going to get only 10 rows. I'm not going to get more than that because every information is the second query bringing every information which is a duplicate of first information. Now assume I just like, swap that. Now in minimum places I'm getting a minimum, maximum place I'm getting the second row minimum salary. Minimum places I'm getting a maximum salary. Okay, there are some has got a 0. So that time they basically like they are duplicate, but some doesn't have. Now let's see how it is going to bring it. See, it is not getting, it's getting 15 rows. It is not getting me a 20 rows. The reason is manager asked us, there's, you don't see that the analyze this 4 guys, I mean, yeah, 4 jobs that has got a 0. So they are coming only once. Then the 6 is coming twice. Is understood? Now, okay. Now just say that I'm adding a sum character here. Okay. Now I'm going to get all the 20 rows. I'm getting 20 rows because the job name is not matching with, like, something is not matching with the top rows. Okay. Now the same thing what I do here. I say union all. I remove this part. Now it is, I'm going to get all the 20 rows. Okay, even if I have a minimum salary, maximum salary, the same thing, I will just put that back to that query. See, I'm getting the same thing, is a union all. So I'm going to get 20 rows. The reason is it doesn't validate, bring all the row from the top, all the row from the down. Okay, you got it. Okay, now what we do here is we go for intersect. I'm using the same table for the most of the query. So the thing is that can be explained clearly. That's the reason I'm going using the same table. You can use a different table, different columns. All the thing is what you have to have same number of column. You have to have the same type. That's the only condition. Other than that, that's nothing. I'm getting an intersect. Intersect basically 10 because both are same thing. Now, for example, if I put here, see that nothing matching. It has changed. Okay. Now, if I go for us like what we did earlier, we remove the swap the salary. Okay. Now there are some minimum maximum salaries matching because they are zeros. So probably I'm going to get all the guys with a 0. See that? I'm going to get all these guys with a 0. So intersect is bring the information which is basically exist in both the queries, top query and down query. That is okay. Then there is something called minus. Okay. Now minus is basically going to get the information which is unique in the top. See, there's nothing unique. See, if I add that same thing here, I'm going to get 10 rows because the top 10 row, I'm going to get it. Okay, if I swap the column, the minimum maximum salary, now it is going to get me what? It's going to get me all the 10 rows. Sorry. No, sorry. Okay, go back to that. What, didn't copy that properly. Okay, now I'm swapping that part with max salary. See, you get only which is the uniqueness top, whatever is that is what is going to give it to me. You understood what is happening with that, the minus and everything. Okay. I will try to explain again if you want. Like union basically bringing that all the unique record from both the sides. Union all get all the information. Intersect get only which is duplicated both the sides, except get it from the first information which is the unique in the first information, first row. Okay, basically that information which is not exist, no, that's all it's going to get it.